sixth graders. Today we are setting up our hot and cold water baths, and we're seeing what happens with the heat transfer if we mix between hot and cold water in the different cups in the bath.
We're going to have 1 cup that has hot water in it put into the bath of cold water.
Brr.
We have the hot water being put in a bath of room temperature water. And we have water in a cold cup put into a bath of room temperature water. And then cold water put into a bath of hot water. Oh, that would be good.
All right, sixth graders, here is our cold water, and it's 8.5 degrees Celsius. In our hot water bath is, 51.2 degrees. Okay, and then we've got cold water here is 7.9. The warm is 19, or no, the cold now is 19.1. Now we've got our hot water, we've got 51, and then cold water behind it is 19.8 degrees Celsius. Awesome. And then the hot water here is 49.7, and the cold water is 8.7. So this is our setup for the water baths.
All right.
All right, we're gonna place these in the water baths very gently, easy. Okay, that's good. Just enough. Oh yeah. Okay, and bazinga.
All right, now we're gonna put the lids on nice and tight to make this a closed system. And then we're gonna let this stay for 5 minutes. And we'll find the temperature of each one of them. You made a mess.
I'm pretty messy, Miss Lanigan.
I know.
Have you ever been in my classroom? It's pretty messy.
Yeah, so we're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes. I will start my timer right now, okay? And we'll
5
check
minutes.
back in 5 minutes.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes are up. I'm gonna take everything out and we'll see what happens. The temperature now of the cold water that was inside, come on, camera, is 21.4. And the hot water that was on the outside is now 26.9. The lighting in here is terrible. The cold water that was in the room temperature water is 12.6. The room temperature water that the cold water was in is 15.2. The hot water that was in the room temperature water is 28.4, and the room temperature water that the hot water was in is 30.9. And finally, the hot water that was in the cold water. The hot water is now 24.6 degrees Celsius, and the cold water that the hot water was in is now 26.5 degrees Celsius. Let's write that down and try to figure out what's going on. Oh, it is.
Is it
Hi.
going?
Hi.
Oh.
Yeah, well, what do you think? What do you think?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, Miss Lanigan, I was sleeping through class.
Again?
Again. I know.
Well, we're going to take a look at all of our data. You're going to write it on your lab sheets, and we're going to try to figure out what's going on.